Good to go. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And here we go again. And I got a new hat, if you haven't noticed. Beautiful. I got it this weekend. I'm awesome. Yay! Yeah, there's a long story behind this hat, but I ain't gonna tell it to you. Sorry.
He's blushing. He's blushing.
Anyway. So we got a good show. I got a bunch of information. I wrote down a bunch of stuff. And before me and Steve really got into it, because we were already starting on this road, which was pretty cool.
I love it.
You know, it's the energy running, the energy running the system. That means us. We're energy, right?
Yep.
And the system is energy. Are we running the system, or is the system running us? You know, that's what we have to ask ourselves sometimes. And through that, because, you know, everything is energy and frequency. So where do we go with that? You know, what are we? What are we made of? Who are we? Are we really, you know, what we think we are? Are we the Matrix? You know, I mean, how many times have you been asked, are we, you know, we live in the Matrix? I mean, you hear that all the time.
And I think it's true. The thing is, though, is that we've been taught not to utilize our power and our strength. We've been taught to be submissive. We've been taught to worship.
That's right. That's right. And like I said, so that's what we're gonna figure it out tonight, because I got the two smartest people in the universe, except for maybe Wayne, but you know, here with me on the show tonight. Huh?
I said, I don't know about that, but we'll play.
That's right. Right. Well, in my universe,
I'm already lost. Where are we? No.
But anyway, well, I need to ask the hard questions.
Who's smart? Where is he? No.
Yeah, where'd he go?
No, there you go.
Now you're a hell of a bus driver, Robert, and I want to thank you for all of your service, and you've come a long way, brother. You're doing excellent.
Well, thank you.
And Trina, I owe you an apology for the last time I was on a show with you. I kind of came off as a D-head and an a-hole, and I didn't mean to, and you know, I love you.
I love you too, Steve. And like I said, I didn't even see it, so no harm, no foul.
Good.
That's right. Good. That's right.
I was rushing around trying to plow snow, and you know, I was just caught in my own head and what I wanted to get out, and I didn't even focus on what we were all talking about, and I just ran my mouth without thinking.
Hey, you know
which
what?
I do a lot.
Happens, and in this group, sometimes, you know, we got to learn to. We're there for each other when we're processing stuff, and it's always sometimes not always going to come out right or even make a lot of sense, but that's all right.
Force ourselves to just shut up every once in a while, right?
Well, sometimes that is a good option. I've had to learn that the hard way myself. Yeah. But like I said, usually if something's driving you passionately, it's because you're seeking some kind of answer or confirmation.
So has anybody found themselves laughing their asses off the last couple of days?
I've been finding myself in some really high frequencies for healing and music, but not so much laughter, but I love laughter. So I wish I would have been signed up on that train, Steve.
Yeah.
Frequency. See, I had this all planned out. I had my little thing here for the frequency today.
Oh, I got something to share too. I don't know if you guys,
you know, can you all hear that?
I shared this with you guys yet, but I got this bad boy.
Oh, nice.
Bowls. I love it.
Singing bowls. I can do the thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and you do the bowl. Now we need Trina's. You have a bell or something.
No, she can go.
There we go.
No.
We're bringing in the frequencies.
You got something too?
Oh, you got a big bowl.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
Oh, holy cow! You got a big old bowl, girl.
If this don't get the energies in this group powered up, nothing's gonna.
That thing's awesome. What's that one called, Trina?
It's a G. Yep, it's G.
Sorry to interrupt the flow.
Yeah, it's a sound of G. 432 hertz G.
Nice. Yeah, this here thing that I got is 432 hertz too. And it does sound just like that, doesn't it?
I love it. There's different tones. So there's like A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, there's different sounds. And this is a big one and it's G and I love it. And when it gets really going in my room, it almost feels like my walls start to move.
Okay.
I think mine's 528.
Oh, right on. That's awesome.
So, you know, this goes right along with what I was studying, and I wrote all this down. I got it all on my notes. I had so many notes. I was writing them so fast. Okay. So, you know,
I even took notes today.
You did awesome. So, oh man, we are going to have a show like you won't believe. So the Earth frequency is 7.83 hertz. Now, I'm sure half of you already know that. Okay. Now we're doing the bowls and we're doing the things and stuff like that. What is, because everybody, you know, I've asked this question to myself for a long time. What is 7.83 hertz? Can I hear that? What is that? It's a B flat, 2 octaves below the lowest note on a piano.
Yep.
Barely audible by a human being.
That's right. So don't think you're going to go out there and hear the Earth frequency because
what are they called? Low range. They're called something low range
frequencies or something. Yeah, low range.
Something like that. I can't remember what it is exactly, but yeah. The odd thing about the 7.83 is I think that's about how many billion people are on the planet, and I think we're each a billionth of a heart or a hertz.
Yes, I think.
Okay, I got that down too in my notes. See, I was doing a whole bunch of this stuff. You guys are right on. The human body is 70 trillion to 3.5 trillion millivolts, or 70 millivolt. Each cell is 70 millivolts. That's 0.07. So if you
repeat that again, Robert, what did you say?
Okay, we have 70 trillion to 3. I'm reading off what I wrote down in the studies. 70 trillion to 3.5 trillion volts in our bodies, because each cell in our body is 0.07 millivolts. Okay, so it's 70 millivolts in each cell. So each cell contains this 0.07 millivolt. But when you add them up into the whole, that's when you get how many. Now, here's the funny part. The human body natural frequency is about 7.5 hertz. Okay. But did you know that your hertz changes when you stand up or when you sit down or you curl up? It goes
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I got something to share with that after you're done. Yeah, go ahead.
It goes from 7.5 when you're sitting or curled up to 4 to 6 hertz. So how about that?
It changes in your height, you mean, the further you get away from the earth?
No, it just said sitting or curl, you know, when you curl up like that, it changes.
Oh, when you bring your energy centers in your body closer together to each other?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
So you change your hertz and your stuff. So, okay, what were you going to say that you had on that?
I was going to say you're wonderful, dude. And Trina's looking beautiful.
You're so sweet, Steve. So are you. Thank you.
No, I was going to say that.
What I was thinking that frequency thing might be in direct relation to is if the spine is erect versus being arced.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So now this is the question.
It's still upright.
Okay, so look at the guy behind me, right? That's the sign with all the chakras on it. Right? And it goes up. Boom. Oh, I gotta point like this. So you can all see it. Okay,
hard to do when it's mirrored, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it goes up into your head. And all of this is voltage. But as you can see, this here, the turny twisty goes down. That's the snakes going up that we were talking about the other day or something. But anyway, and it goes up, and then you got the top one up here. What do you think that is? That's like the antenna. That's what's connecting you. See all the little stars on?
That's the seed of life.
Yeah, that's connecting you to the rest of everybody.
Check this out.
It connects you to a different part of the hologram of the matrix.
Yeah.
So it connects you to the upper level dimension. So once you can get into the connection between the throat, which is the Anja center, once you can connect that pyramid with the crown, the third eye, and the throat, you open up the upper trinity of your holographic expression. So that's a whole new layer of information and systems available in your body through those centers.
Yeah. Amazing.
Did you know that we have like magnetite in our brain structure or in our
Totally. Absolutely. Just like I think the animals have a lot of it too, because they're really a lot more going
the
by
ones
the
that need
magnetics.
navigation. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And they
that's
go by them.
profound.
They say that recently they came to the conclusion that birds aren't just drawn to the magnetic pole per se. They go by some sort of visual response that the magnetic field leaves in a spectrum that we are unaware of because we can't see it.
That makes sense, because when I was the vision where I got put into the body of the eagle, I could see those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know what? I think the clouds right now, sometimes you can see those lines too.
It was crazy too. And I could see in thermal vision. So the eagle sees with heat, and it sees these lines. Like you said, it was very profound to actually get to see through the eyes of the eagle. And the vision was profound and not at all like ours.
Yeah. I've been saying that for a long time, that, once I remember hearing this on Wayne's show, and then that we only see like 5%. But if that eagle sees just that much more, so we're here. And if it sees this way or this way, it's going to have a whole different perspective of what we see.
Yes.
I mean,
or if we could even cognitively attribute our sight to their sight, you know what I mean? Or compare the two. Yeah. I mean, it's probably just wild as to, I don't know. I just don't even know how to articulate it, but yeah.
Well,
I'm super tired today because I've been working my ass off laying carpet, so I apologize.
Right on. You're pooped. Steve had a big day. That's hard work.
I know how that is. I've laid carpet before, and it's a lot of flipping work. It goes fast, but it's a lot of work to stay busy.
You were talking about the upper chakras. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Okay, yeah, mm-hmm. I can blow it up here. Hang on a second.
This is really cool because it does address that through a holographic expression, the higher chakras and how they form a trinity. And it's kind of cool because it says that the throat vortex makes the holographic energy system able to process energy internally and externally in a conscious way. The throat vortex holds the main genetics that unfold your personality. The alter major
interface,
the alter major vortex enables the anja and the throat vortex to consciously to work consciously with the root vortex. The alta major vortex gives the ability to work with the light coding by pulling it in from the grid works through the root vortex. The energies are unfolded by the use of holographic symbols, geometry, and tone.
That's why those Islamic throat singers, how they do that.
Yeah, I bet that is what a lot of that is. And then it says the heart vortex interacts with the light coding of the previous or present reality field, where the personality and the genetics took on their form. If the personality and integrated genetics are activated, it will be from the present reality field. It will pull in the light coding to sustain the Hara quadrant, when the energy circulation needs to be altered, making it possible for new genetics to enter the main head center. And from here, integrate into the energy system. The vortexes have to change their oscillation. Energetic enhancement is done by the altering of the light coding of the holographic energy system, enable to make it capable of interfacing with a new level of light coding or settings available in the new reality field. It is a part of it. This is achieved by conscious activation, coming as an incentive from the template, ready to unfold to the next level of the genetics, bringing them into the energy system. Thus, genetic activation cannot be forced. Only when the possibilities of the previous set of genetics have unfolded to the highest potentials can the next be integrated. So that's pretty profound, that the heart can reprogram your physical body through the genetic templates, receiving upgrades and restoration through the original templates of your organic first source.
And that's because it circulates the blood. And I wrote that down too. Now, what you just
Yeah.
said, I wrote down, but only in other terms here. And it was about the human body. And okay, so it started out that the human could, you could have a charge through a conductive medium. That's what you were talking about.
Yes.
It moves it through electrons as an electrode. Okay.
Yes.
The human body is 60. This was really interesting because I didn't understand this all. And this is all new to me. It was, well, not new to me, but I mean, I kind of understood, but from what you said, you're saying it as in your flow of, you know, all that's, but in scientific terms, it was the human body is 60% water. And you're talking about the heart. Well, the blood is a lot of that water. There's two types of fluid we have. One is intercellular fluid, which is 2/3 of our body water. Then there's extracellular fluid, which is 1/3 of our body water. These contain biochemical ions and
Electrolytes,
that
right?
are electrolytes, which are well conductive. They're very conductive. Each cell membrane is an isolant for that, you know, like an isolator. So the membrane, so you got the electricity inside of it. So each one's working independently and they're working all together as a grid.
Yes.
And that's why
how you define the oneness that God speaks of, that we are all
Well,
one.
that's the Anu. That's what
cells in the body. Yeah.
that's what the ancients called the Anu, or the Dininger, or the Dinger. And that's
Yes.
why I've adopted it as my symbol, because I realized that a long time ago that, you know, the one thing that holds everything together is the one, the only.
The same thing, right? It's the same thing. I love that. Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
So yeah, that's wonderful. That I thought we were more like 70% water though.
Yeah, it's a well.
Or did that change now?
I don't know. I read it off the scientific.
No, I
paper.
believe you. I believe you. I'm not questioning you. I'm just like
It just depends on how they're counting plasma, bone marrow. It's just
like where are we at in the galaxy, you know?
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
And I seen a NASA program just the other day. Remember, I was saying that we were on the outside edge back in the 80s, and now we're in the middle, closer to the middle. Well, the NASA guy at the JPL said we were on the outer edge.
Again, wow.
5 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird, man. I was like,
I really don't think that anybody knows for sure, you know.
Yeah, and I don't even think they, you know, if we're on the inside looking out, you know, and I think in my opinion, everything is just like Trina just said, it's some sort of hysteresis loop, that self-feedback loop that we in our consciousness, because, you know, I think all of our consciousness or all of our awareness is one thing. And our brains are just different radios that decipher that one thing and filter it from the world that's around our personal point source perspective, you know? And I think that's how everything is interconnected. And that's what you can call God, you know?
Yeah, and that goes all the way galactic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
you know, and that's how you can say that God is in all, but all are not God, because
yes.
You know,
and since we're all connected, I want to say happy or hello to everybody that's connected to us tonight,
Hi, everyone.
because there's a whole mess of people that just piled in, and we got a lot of people here that I really love and
Hi, Mary.
cherish to have come on, be in the chat room, watch my show. Thank you for coming. You people are who drives me to do this. And I'll name you off here. Oh, I see Max Vision came up. Max, I want to get you on the show.
Hi, Max.
And Michelle Can-Am Free and David Castle, who filled in last week, was awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Teresa, who I always depend on, and she helps you out at Adrona 7. And she was so nice to let me come on with Scotty Roberts the other day. That was so good. I learned so much, and that was really good. I wish you could have stuck around a little bit more. Posey and is in the house. Deborah Sloan's in the house, and our all-time favorite, Mary Wins. Yay!
Mary, I need your loving.
And Milky's mom, Brenda.
Hi,
How you
Brenda.
doing? Thanks for coming. We all enjoy you coming, and thank you for participating and being here. I tell you, we appreciate it. Love you very much. And we got Paul from Newcastle who came in tonight. Thank you for coming. And we got Candy Gem and Deborah Truax. Yay! And Coyote Profits in the house.
Hi,
Hey, how you doing, man?
Candy
we got-
Apple. Pure love.
And we got Gaza
Gaza.
Cav. Gaza Cav's in the house. I'm getting you on Gaza Cav pretty soon. One of these days. It's summertime, or is it going into winter time over there? Oh, I think
Don't
it's
forget Ed Hagel.
Ed Hagel. I'm just getting to there. Ed Hagel's in the
Sorry.
house. Michelle Can-Am Free. I think I named her. I'm going back a ways. Jill
She's worth
Jarrett's in the
mentioning twice,
house.
Hi,
What?
Jill.
I said she's worth mentioning twice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Lucky Stone's in the house. Man, I got to get a hold of you. I got some questions.
I love that guy because he's got my last name in his title.
That's right. He's awesome. And we got Boots on the Ground, Jargo. He's in the house. Who else we got? We got, no. Chloe was in the house earlier. I haven't seen her much, but she was in the house. She was on the card reading with the
Boots
Lori
on the Ground Jargo. That's a sweet, long name.
Yeah, she was. I seen her. She was over there at Lori's show with the card reading, and they were talking. I caught the tail end of it. They're talking about Brian Lunsford having those orbs around his dog. That was pretty darn neat.
I haven't seen that.
Emperor
Doggone.
Rex. Hi, Emperor Rex.
Yes. Oh, Emperor Rex and Elderberry's in the house.
Hi, Elderberry.
Yeah. So we got a full house tonight. Thank y'all for coming. We have an interesting show coming up here. Man, we are like in the midst of things. We're like, the cells have energy. They're talking to each other, I think, through electric currents, which is charging our chakras and making our brains function. And with the brain function, I got another one for you. Now, Wayne has turned me on to this, and I did a little bit of work on it. Little bit. Wayne's probably done that much work on it, but I'm going to bring you some right now. And this is the brain to brain connection. Okay, now I looked this up, and I encourage you all to go out and find your own information and look this up because it was very interesting. And the brain to brain connection article I read on from October 29th, 2019. So this is pretty recent. They used brain to brain connection with a form of magnetic signals. There's your magnetic stuff you were talking about. And they used our brains. Now they're talking about people, not they did experiments on rats, but now they were doing this on people. Using our brains as an organic computer. Okay. And they were talking about tethering our brains together as like living brains. They're talking about living brains tethering together as microprocessors, right? So you hook all the brains together and you got one fast working, hard thinking brain like a giant computer, because that's what computers are. And they've realized this.
What if
it's already that way, I think.
I was going to say, what if that already
right.
passed?
Great minds think alike.
Well, that's why I'm bringing this up, because I want to ask you guys about this. But guess who is coming up with all this? And
Elon Musk.
Huh?
Elon Musk.
Close. DARPA. And this was all a DARPA thing. And they were doing I
thought they were just building dancing robots, dude.
Yeah, no, they're talking about doing implantable neuron interfaces. So yeah. So what I was thinking is, we already know, through our thoughts and what we know already is, like you're saying, we're already connected. We just don't know how to connect ourselves. But you got some smart scientist guy who knows what we know and says, I'm going to make some electronic stuff, and then I'm going to hook everybody together, and we're going to have one big giant supercomputer.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you notice that in our paradigm these days, when things go a certain direction, it's not just a fad or a trend or a thing to do, or it's you notice how things get like anything in our paradigm. I don't even want to make a name anything, but I mean just everything that's happened recently. Like I hate Cracker Jacks because I'm white, or the cancel culture thing. All of that stuff like that. How it runs its course, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and then all of a sudden another 18 months down the road, it's like the Nibiru thing, how it would do its 18-month cycle. Everybody would talk about it, it would go away, and then all of a sudden it would come back, and then it would seep back into the collective. And I think that's what because I think our soul is one thing, like I said, and it resides in each one of us. But is it ours? Is it our individual soul? I think it's a collective soul that we, with our software, our interface, it's like we said before, Bethlehem means the house of bread. What is a house? A house is a place where the in and out coexist, right?
I think the spirit is the part that's all the same, because the spirit's the God part that's in everything.
That's what I mean by soul, yeah.
Yeah, the soul is like a space. It's like a sleeve that's yours because it has all of your information throughout time recorded in it. I see soul as recording device and spirit as the thing that connects everything.
Yeah, I think there's spirit and there's energy, and our soul and energy, or and because we are energy in the physical sense, but our true nature is spirit, and that's the right hand rule of electricity. Like magnetism and dielectricity is electricity. That's what electricity is a hybrid of those two together, and that's what we are.
So interesting talking about this potential with the connections of the human brains. Total hypothetical vision, no proof or evidence to this whatsoever. But in a state of meditation, I saw that. I saw 12 children that were no longer alive, but they were still conscious, and they were connected to a computer. So what if the foundations of quantum computing came from these minds of these beautiful 12 children? That's what I saw. The vision. But, yeah. So like I said, and I've been told over and over again, everything that we see on the technologically basis is all a copy of what we already organically are.
I don't want to sound like an asshole or anything, but what if I was an orange?
What if you were?
I'm just trying to lighten the mood a bit.
Yeah, like how that, how did we get here originally? I think we came through many different opportunities.
Yeah, I think we try to overthink things, and we get ourselves in trouble by doing so, because the whole thing is very simple, and all we need to do is just calm ourselves, which I cannot do yet. I cannot do it. I can't get my mind to stay quiet for more than 3 seconds. And if I do that, I'm doing a hell of a job. But, recently I've come to the conclusion, what is sleep? Or I've come across information. What is sleep? Sleep is the little brother to death. Why is that? Because sleep is a place where our soul can go and play, right? And in the dream state.
Yeah.
Is it our body that demands sleep, or is it our soul that demands it?
I think it's I think it's the soul, because the recorder is like a battery and it needs to get recharged. And I think that you recharge when you sleep, and you recharge from your higher dimensional aspects of yourself that you're still currently connected to, but have no awareness or conscious connection to. So
And
that's
do
how
we
I
get
see that.
ourselves in trouble just by putting labels on everything, you know?
Oh yeah, totally. You can. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I want to just go back. Your spirit, I think you said, was energy, right?
I think
Your
Spirit is the opposite of energy, because everything's got to have its yin and yang aspect or polarity part of it, for creation to exist anyway.
Okay.
And that's why I think we have a soul and a spirit, because that's the polarity to me. I see it a little bit different.
So yeah, you're like the Ban Ka of the Egyptians, where they
Yeah.
thought Ka was the soul and the physical
Yeah, and they
Akashic
come
record.
together, and that's what animates the
Yeah.
body. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. So the
And that's what I
body
mean
is,
about labels and semantics, where
Yeah, it's all
you're
the
right into
same meanings, but it's so many different words
Yeah,
used to
exactly.
describe the same things. Yeah, that's why you're like, words can get. I'm like, oh yeah, they can, because people
Mhm.
they have different understandings of words. So yeah, it's tricky.
Mhm.
yeah, the meanings of words, because all of that stuff is out there. We just don't know what the meanings are. We just fly right by it.
Mhm.
So here's the thing. So the body is the energy, and the spirit is tied to it because it's the opposite of the energy.
Say that again.
Okay. Your body is the energy, and your spirit is the opposite of the energy, so that it's tied to it, right? Like like north is attracted to south pole kind
Think
of.
of our body as the hardware that runs the software.
Okay, yeah, I get that. So I'm trying to make sense of all this DARPA stuff and the brain thing and the electrons thing. But I was thinking, we were talking about the hollow and the zombies and stuff like that. You guys were talking about the zombie stuff, and that, with all that stuff is going on. Now, this is just throwing it out there.
What
if you could figure out, they're doing all this stuff for a reason. You could figure out a way to like attract that spirit. You could, put it in a can, you could like, oh, he's going to sleep. This is the energy. But
Like the Ghostbusters put their ghosts in their traps.
Pretty much. That's a good analogy of it. But, maybe in a different way, because because if you get rid of that spirit, you just have bodies walking around, and there you go. You know what I'm saying?
So you're talking like the concept of loosh, how like energy vampires could like suck up and store your energy. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, but they would suck up and store your spirit away. That way they, can you imagine if I'm thinking of it, somebody's already thought of it, and somebody's already doing it, because that would be the ultimate goal. If you could figure out how to suck your spirit out of your body, and you could put whatever entity
they can do that. I really do. I think they can do that.
Yeah,
what I'm seeing is, I don't think they can get the spirit. I think they can only get the soul, because the soul is what holds the data, the information. So that's what they can grab. They can grab the information, the data, which is packet in light. So, but yeah,
I think this conversation in and of itself would just add power and weight to whatever you guys are thinking that's going on, and it would enable that to happen. And I think that's what we need to start realizing here, is that the feedback loop is a feedback loop all over. I mean, across the whole gamut. So if we feed the thought feeds us. The thought then in turn gets reciprocated through the system, and the hysteresis loop continues. And I think we are what we think.
Identify the loop, then you know how to get out of it. So for me, I can see it like that's how I can get.
But if you so if you extract, with that in thought in mind, this is just a theory. If you extracted one and then you put a new one in there, that new one, good or bad, would take over that body. Isn't that what, when you have a spirit, or an entity enter somebody's body and then they're not them anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, possession, demonic possession.
The possession thing, yeah. Because if you took one out and you put a new one in, because you got to fill the hollow space, that one would know everything that was in that soul, because it would become that, wouldn't it? Would it not?
Do you, I mean, I'm not fighting against what you're saying here because it very well could be, but the whole, I don't even know how to articulate it without sounding like a dickhead. And I don't want to come off like that. I'm trying to, of the world and not in it, or in the world and not of it. And if all of this is true, wouldn't you find the answer within you? I mean, wouldn't it, I don't know how to explain it. It's
Well,
just,
and see, that's another thing, you know, that's what we started out talking before with the show there, is finding the answers. And you said all the answers are within you. And I said, well, and we were talking about something about looking, and
yeah,
the
right here.
looking
Yep.
was, and I
That's what my
said,
notes are
if
on.
you don't look inside yourself, it's just like this book. I wrote a bunch of stuff in here, and all the answers are in this book, and I'm going to give it to you. There you go. Here's your book. But if you don't open up the book,
Right.
all the answers are within you. I got it in me. But if I got to open the book, and that's the whole point of this, is figuring out what we need to know, that we're electricity and frequency and all these things. How do we open that book and get all that stuff out?
Right.
You know, lining your chakras.
It's like
you know, the
knowing we
energy
need
within you.
oxygen, but we can't prove it exists because we can't you know, grab it and show it to people.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
When
and
you
that's
think about books. When you look at what books are volumes of information, packets of information, correct?
Yeah.
So if you want to get inside of your books, you have to go into your packets of information, which is DNA. And you access that through your imagination. And then you start to see pictures, symbols, images, memories, or feelings. And if you get a feeling, ask your body to show you, when have I felt like this before? And follow the feeling through the images, and then it'll eventually get you where you need to go. There's so many ways that you can access your books. But like I said, not many of us have ever been taught how to do this. So it's not a natural thing for us anymore, as it was when you were a child. Because when you're children, you knew how to open your books. Anytime you had a question, you would go to your books. And as you started to get more solidified into this reality, and you started to trust your guardians, your elders, your family, your teachers, these different things, you stopped trusting your own internal guidance system in your own books, and you started going to the books outside of you. And like I said, these programs are installed in us, you know, before age 5. So this, I think, at one time was a very natural thing to have access to our genetics and what information was stored within those books of our recorded existence. But I think through the systems and the religions and the schools and the foods and just on and on and on, it's been now challenging to have access to those things that we once did very naturally and easily.
The whole dichotomy of what you just stated there is just like the hysteresis loop I was referring to, because through our own ignorance, we allow things to seep into our id, or our egoistic self-image of ourselves, which we need to survive long enough to ask ourselves what we're really here for. But, you know, to survive this, you know, quote unquote dog eat dog world. And I think what you just said there is just re-solidifies my opinion that, you know, what if we just need to surrender to the thought of the subject object relationship of, you know, attainment or enlightenment or knowledge or information? What if the information seeking is actually keeping us from finding out what the truth is? Because we're looking for it.
I totally get that, because of the layers of programs and deception that we also have integrated within our stories through our trauma. So that's a potential. But see, this is where I see the key is if you can understand that every single one of your energy centers or chakra wheels are connected to archonic influences within the matrix construct, which is part of what you are as a human being existing within this construct. That's how you get free. Because
I'm going to say something here, Trina. I see you going further and further down this path than you ever have. And it seems like it's bringing you further and further down there. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that you never used to talk so much about the uncontrollables of life that are controlling you, you know? I don't
Well, they're
understand
only
why.
uncontrollables when you don't have an awareness of them. That's when they truly influence you.
But
When you
there's
have
things
an
there's
awareness,
things without that we cannot control, and there's things without that aren't even worth even trying to control. What if
I don't
everything?
believe that, Steve. See, that's where I do not believe that. I do not
How can
believe
you
that.
find yourself if you're lost in everything outside of yourself, though? Is what I'm asking.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I found myself, because now I truly
Well, yeah,
understand I'm
eventually, I get
connected to
that.
everything, and that's how I found myself. So with that, like I said, I can see it in the complete opposite polarity, and that's how it works
You
for me.
are. I wasn't saying you were wrong.
No, I know,
I
but
was
that's what I'm saying. I work absolutely opposite. My mind, since I was a very little girl, has always been a chunk it up type of person. Get the
Mhm.
big picture. So I've always looked at things on massive scales, because
Yeah, I get that.
how my brain works. I'm a
I'm
multi-dimensional.
talking about the control factor and how things, and I don't know. I just get this feeling when you're talking about that stuff that you think that you're under somebody's thumb or somebody is oppressing you, and that I don't.
I kind of have an awareness now that I know that's true, and
That's not true.
that's my
That's not
perspective.
true,
Because
Trina. The only one that has
no,
control of
I
you is
do
you,
think so.
honey.
I think that we literally, as a human species,
Nobody
have
has
been
control over me.
infiltrated
There's not
by
one person that has control
draconians.
over me. That's all
Well,
I'm trying to tell you.
but
Because we are
see,
all one.
now see, I can disagree with that too, because you have to go to work every day. You have to
No, I
pay for
don't.
the planet you were born on. All of these things that I can see that are control measures that
The
are
only
in our
thing that I'm going to do is die. In this physical sense, that's the only thing that's got control over
stop
me.
going to work right now and stop participating in the system and see how well it works for
I
you.
have.
No, you haven't stopped eating and going to your job.
Well,
Completely,
that's
you
the
haven't
one
shut
thing that I
off
have
of
to do
the
because I'll die,
world.
right?
Yeah,
No,
but
don't get me wrong. I don't, I just see everybody in this I don't know, running scared mode, that, or not running scared, but you pick up your cudgels and your spears and fight against the this and the tyranny of that, and all it does in my mind is like
any
adds to the
fight.
whole situation.
I don't see any fight, Steve. No
Well,
fight.
no, I don't mean it like that, honey. I don't mean it like that.
No, but I mean, I don't see
And
any
I'm not
fight.
criticizing you at all. I'm trying to find out where you're coming from is all I'm trying to
Well,
do.
because I can see the polarity, and I can see how the energy is being harnessed, and I can see how it's being used. So
And
when I can
and
see
how,
that
explain how it's being used and who's using it and who's doing the collection then.
in this system, it seems to be draconian abraxas, and I think that that is over. It's over now. So things are going to change dramatically in our world, and I think
Who's
for a very
Draconian
positive.
Abraxas?
Yes, they're
Who's
ancient
that?
families, ancient families. They're part of our families. So with that, this hierarchy system that we're on Earth, with governments and all of this same, the systems seem to be appearing identical in the upper realms and in the system, the galaxy. So with this is about mining, ores, metals, slavery, human trafficking. It's all the same stuff, and it's going on the same, and it's all because of these ancient wars apparently that were fought. So it's now we have returned from higher dimensions and higher consciousness to come here to help everybody remember that they are the higher consciousness, so they don't have to buy into any more of these control systems if they choose to leave them, because this is a graduation cycle. We have entered a new age, which is it's basically what they refer to as the calling. It's going to be a separating of the wheat and the chaff. And that's how I see this going. And it's very much energetically involved. So the more that you can understand polarity and what's going on with harnessing of human energy, you have a much greater chance to actually reclaim and have sovereignty over your own energy, and know how to do that. Because if you don't have any awareness of it, how possibly could you know not to step into it if you don't know it's a trap in front of you? You have no clue. You're going to go into it. But if you have awareness, you have many options.
What if you're setting your snare on yourself by just thinking that way?
Bottom line is all of the things in this reality are not a product of my thoughts. They're a product of what is here. So I look at what's
What? That's all everything is our thoughts.
correct.
Okay, but can I say something in this? The
Yeah.
whole thing with this, you know, in a way, Steve, you want to be, you say your thoughts are your own, right?
No, I'm not saying that.
Or no, you're saying that you're not participating. If you choose not to
No, I'm not
participate,
saying
you're
that
not
either.
gonna.
I'm choosing to not think in the manner that somebody's got control over me, or
Okay.
somebody's got the ability to suck my energy out, or somebody's got because every time you say that, you're projecting your inability to control your own thought, because
Okay, well, okay, that's what I mean. Your ability to control your own thought. The question is, how do you really know
I
that
don't know
was your own thought?
I don't know anything. I'm just saying from how I feel, because I'm an empathic person where I pick up on energy, and every time I hear people talking about, you know, even when it comes to the COVID thing and shit, I mean, I know the IV thing and all that stuff is would save people, and it bothers me immensely. Okay.
Yep.
And I've jumped on that horse and rode it and threw it out there and told people, you know, and this and that. But I went down every rabbit hole, and I found myself looking at myself saying, what can I do about it? The only thing I can do about it is change how I feel about it inside me.
Yes.
And that's the only mover in my world is me. I cannot do anything about anybody outside of myself.
Absolutely.
And that's where I come from. And that's, you know, and I'm not saying anybody's wrong for thinking differently than that. I'm just trying to get my head around how people think that way and why, and how I could, you know, because it's, I don't know how to explain it. It kind of, it hurts me. And it actually hurts my heart when I hear people talking, you know, and every time I talk like this and think about this, I think of Brandy Robinson, because she's a beautiful person, and she's always talking about them and they are after us and they're doing this to us, and you know, and I try to talk to her and say, hey honey, it's, you know, just relax, be calm, and you know, pay it forward, love people, and the rest. Tyranny is like a tree that won't bend in the wind. We've said this analogy before, or this you know, if a tree doesn't bend in the wind, what happens? It breaks. A tyrant, when they do not bend for, you know, and assimilate to what's going on, they will break eventually, because they're against nature. Nature has its own order. It also has its entropy. I get you. But I think we can only change the world through ourselves first.
Yeah. That's why people are making choices. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, if we continue to feed the beast just will eat us up.
The thing is, though, is that Steve, if you don't know what the beast is, you're gonna step into.
I don't care what the beast is.
Well, that's great.
I don't care what the beast is, because it's not part of my world. I'm not condoning whatever people think is going on in the world. I'm not saying it's right, but I cannot control that which is without. I can only control that which is within. And if I pay it forward with love, thought, and earnest caring to everybody I encounter, then my world around me is going to be that much better. And that's the only thing we can expect to do. And this world is here for us to suffer, not for us to suffer, but for us to know what good and bad is. Because without the bad, we would, you know, and that's cliche, I know. But, you know, the whole hero's journey would not be born if everything was utopian, unicorns and rainbows. You know, we would not have a purpose in life. That's just how I see it. And I'm not saying you're wrong, honey, because I love you, Trina, and I know you care. I know you love people, and I know you mean well.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be in low dimensions to have opportunities for growth. I think you can grow in higher existing dimensions.
I didn't mean it like that.
Duality, but not to this extreme. And like I said,
right, I want to make the world better too. I get you, but I mean, we can't. Have you ever heard this saying? The weight of the world is on God's shoulders, not ours. God is blameless.
God, so that weight, I share that weight, because I am one with that. So I share that weight.
Right. But I mean, it's not, I don't know, because we're talking about the holographic feedback loop, and If we're talking about Lucian and energy vampires and people and Jinn and all of this other stuff, and we're putting our energy into all that thought, where do we have time for love and compassion and happiness?
I have so much time for that. But like I said, I've had experiences in my own memory that have shown me things that shocked me to my core about harvesting energy. So my belief system has a knowing from memories of these things that take place. And whether or not people choose to have an awareness of that or believe it, that's their path, not mine. But I know where I come from and I know what I've seen. So with that, I have a very important calling for those who want to know the message of that there are things to be aware of when you leave your body. There are things that you need to be aware of in this existence so you can protect the integrity of your spark, of your source, of your light. So that's a personal thing, and everybody has to go down those paths the way that they go.
Sure that.
I don't believe in pushing the dark agenda, but I do know that there's a very powerful truth to keep your enemies closer and know them well, because it will save your life in some instances. So there's both sides of the coin to look at. And right now,
So everybody knows now. Let's assume everybody knows. What are we going to do about it?
you, like you said, the things that you're talking about, you really have to work on you. You have to find out what you need to know and ask questions and seek inside yourself to find those answers. Nobody's going to come to truth in the same way. Nobody's going to see things exactly the same way.
Yeah.
We're all going to see it from a little bit of a different angle of the same perspective. And that's the beauty of creation, because none of us can hold the fullness of God. We can only be parts of it. So all of our different points of view is what makes the fullness of that spirit of God.
Yeah, we are like leaves on the same tree. Yes.
Yes. And we all, even if we're seeing the same exact thing in the environment, there's 360 degrees of that tree.
Right. It's like having a eyewitness at a court hearing.
Right. We're never going to see exactly the same thing. So that's a gift, because what I can't see, you can, and what you can't see, I can. So it's that balance, but you always have to use your own discernment and go with where you are with your soul's evolution. Go with what truth resonates with you, because that's right for you.
Have you ever heard this? The fear is a fetter great. For don't propagate fear, for fear will hold others in thrall. And if fear grabs you, fear can contain you, fear can hold you, and fear can possess you. And now, say somebody that's not as far off in the thinking as we are, or anybody else watching this program, but say a 16-year-old kid comes across one of your videos and you're talking about, the Abraxas and the whatever draconians and all this other stuff, this David Icke stuff, and all of a sudden you scare the shit out of them and they think it's hopeless, I mean, and you start steering them down that road and they figure out, you know what I mean?
Listen to the music that they're being fed right now, and listen to the music that they listen to, and you'll understand that what we're saying is nothing they already haven't heard. Really get into what these children are into. Get into them. See what they're interested in.
I don't want to get into anybody else but myself.
Well, as I'm telling you, they'll show you some of these kids. They are very well versed because of the music and because of the video games and because of these things. These things are powerful tools.
Well, so, yeah, I agree with that.
Man, let me tell you, many of them literally have more information on the occult than we do or ever will. It's just the way it is. They've been exposed to it more than we have. These guys are being raised with vampire movies and all this occult stuff, witchcraft movies, zombie movies. This is literally
the first movie I seen was called Evil Dead. It was the sickest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Evil Dead. I mean, that's just a movie though.
I've never seen
talking about on the level of your
literally. I watched the kids.
The monster's going to eat you.
Yes, it's all you see. It's everywhere.
Not me. That's not what I see.
No, but that's what
the old ladies that need help down the curb. I see friends at bowling that I share love with. I see my kids every day that I love. I see love. I don't see none of that shit you just mentioned. None of it.
Today I just
in my world.
Pain out of my best friend's body, and I healed her and put her all back together. So I get to see miracles. every day.
Good for you.
And
I hope that works
is
out for you, Trina.
that is the
It's
highest
a
level of love.
philosophy now, and it's
So
really,
yeah,
really
to
out
put
there.
yourself in love, that's where you want to be. But like I said, people are not feeling good. People are sick. People do have problems. People do have these questions with reality. People are being force fed to watch the news and these shows and all this stuff. So it's part of what they're seeing every day. So to actually have some clarity of what these energies can potentially do to you, which can be very harmful, I think is a good message for many, so that they can know that you got to be careful with these energies, because they can potentially affect you in a negative way.
Yeah, there's negative energy out there, and I think what was it, Max Vision said that there's the energy is all, and it was just true, it's all one energy, it's just energy.
Yes.
But there's the he said something about the dial of the oven. You got the
Yes.
hot, and then you got the cold. It's just the different sides, but it's like magic. Magic is just magic. It's how you use that magic. It's the same with the energy. Good energy, bad energy, it's still energy. You just either sway it right or left. Well, speaking of energy, I got another one on here. This was with Nicholas Tesla. We all know Nicholas Tesla. He invented the electric stuff. He tuned the north. Now this is a cool one, because I didn't know this. Oh, Steve will be back. he hit the wrong button. Yeah, he dropped off. I didn't know.
I didn't see. I can only see you because when you talk. So it's,
okay. So
anyway, I didn't see that. So.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I hung up on you. I didn't mean to do that.
We either you got really mad and said that.
No, I went to hit my share screen button because I was going to show a picture of something, and
you went bye.
Yeah, sorry.
You did bye.
That's all right.
I was like, oh my God, that didn't look right.
I'm glad you're back, Steve.
I apologize. We can agree to disagree, I guess, right?
I got no problem with that. Like I said, I love to be challenged. I love my ideas.
I think me and you are sort of an ig and ook of arguing here, and I think we've always been that way.
We're masculine and feminine.
Right.
Yes. Total opposite polarities, and that's brilliant. And that's
sometimes through the biggest debates are the biggest answers are found. So I love
that's what I'm saying. I got no problem with that, because I would love for somebody to rock my belief system. It challenges me, and I am.
Well, I'm not here to do that. I just want to.
Well, I embrace it. I'm like, thank you for that. I really can use a mind blowing moment. Please bring me more. I have no problem with that.
And that's why I'm here to ask the hard questions.
Right. I'm like, bring it.
I've seen, like Lucky Stone had said earlier, he said that the spirits are really, he said that the spirits are trying to work through you two right now to put stuff out.
Yep.
And I don't know, and then somebody else had said that both of you are kind of talking about the same thing, and just different perspectives of it.
We always do that. Trina and I always do that.
And then I'm watching the chat, which is so funny, because there's guys that are saying, yeah, Trina, that's right. And other guys are saying, yeah, Steve, that's right.
Absolutely. I love it.
Because it's like you got these two rooting teams, but we're all rooting for the same team,
Absolutely. Well, and like I said, we're not all seeing exactly the same way. And that's the beauty, because like I said, some people will resonate with what I'm saying. Some people resonate with what Steve's saying. But the bottom line is that we're inspiring through the process.
I think we both just want to help, and that's what our issue is. Yeah. And, even if our ideologies are different, we just want to help. And that's,
yes.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yes, and that's the primary goal for me. Like I've known since I was little, I came here to save.
Well, you're doing a hell of a job, Trina.
Well, so are you.
And I'm not just doing that to inflate your ego or none of that.
No, I'm not either, Steve. I've seen you turn so many people around upside down on their heads, and I think it's fabulous.
Well, I don't want to take credit for turning anybody up on their head, but
no, it's making them think of it in a whole different new way. I've literally seen people have mind-blowing epiphanies while watching you talk about your topics. It's true.
It's true for all of us, because it's already. I think that we need to just love each other, man. Just love
we do love each other.
Well, and that's the thing. Steve, you are a poet with words some days, man.
Sometimes, yeah. And now they're trying to take that Dr. Seuss away. So,
oh, jeez, yeah.
That
Don't get
sucks.
me.
I like Dr. Seuss.
I just find it funny how things like that. You know, I remember when it was Tickle Me Elmo dolls or rolling up her pants. Now it's freaking, you know, taking books off the shelf or tearing down statues.
Guys, it's really tragic because if we let them take away one book, it'll lead to more. And there's literally legislation right now discussing on removing the Bible.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because think of how much racist things are in the Bible and how much
That's what I'm
stuff.
saying.
You could
This
just
is
go
setting-
through that whole book
This
and
setting
just go.
up, right. This could be setting up the groundwork to get rid of all of our religious doctrines. And I don't want to see that happen.
Again, what if I was a banana?
There's sacred texts that need to be protected.
They
no
might
matter
outlaw
what you
bananas.
do. Well, even like all of the books, I think all
I
of
know.
them are precious and sacred, and they should
Well,
be.
They are.
Well,
Any literature, whether or not, we should all have the ability to write it and publish anything that we want. It's up to the person, the reader. I get you on that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, I really know a lot of kids that couldn't read. They could
I
learn
love Dr. Seuss's
with
books.
Dr. Seuss because it rhymes. And
Yeah.
some children, they learn in music and in
Pop on pop.
rhyme. Yeah. And so I like I said, wow, that's a vital thing for children because some children, I've seen adults that didn't know how to read, learn how to read by reading Cat in the Hat books.
Mhm.
And that's, to me, that's powerful, really powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were saying about the all the energy thing and all that stuff, it did occur to me that, you know, it was like the Mandela effect is for certain people that brings their awareness to a different level and in turn makes them turn the corner to start looking within themselves. Like Nibiru was for me, and you know, like all kinds of different stuff across the board. Agenda 21, Jade Helm. Remember all that stuff?
Really
Yeah, I mean,
Steve, when you say about Nibiru kind of did it for you, man, there are so many people that's what got us here.
yeah.
That was one of the main things that got me into this too, was looking at the Planet X stuff. I thought that was fascinating. I was like, wow.
Did you notice recently they started coming out with information again about that?
Yeah.
It's
Planet 9.
Yep.
It's starting to
Comes-
seep back in.
Here
And it
comes
weird.
again.
It's
Like the
I-
way
you know,
like
I-
4-year loops.
Steve, I had a vision years ago where I literally look up in the sky and I could see these planets in our sky, and they
Yeah.
were really,
I thought I could see the same thing too.
yeah, they were beautiful. I saw 3 of them. One was like a big amber golden color, and then another one was like a more peachy golden amber color, but it was more pink, more peachy. And then the biggest one, I think, which was the closest one, maybe, it was this really pretty, like the aqua teal blue color. Oh, it was so pretty.
Remember
like-
Steve Hoffman and his big planet theory
No.
with Saru and all of these planets? Yeah, he was part of WSO's
Oh yeah. Steve,
Okay.
what's his name? Not the
Hoffman.
Olson?
No, it wasn't Hoffman.
Hoff?
Olson. Steve Olson?
Olson.
Oh, Steve Olson, yeah, for
was gonna
WSO. But I
say,
mean,
Who are you talking about? I was part of. I remember joining that WSO.
well,
a
Wayne
long
was
time
his
ago.
sidekick for a while.
Yes,
A long
yes,
time.
yes.
Yeah.
And Steve was on to something there. You know, I think he got a little too far off looking at everything, but he was still.
He was into the religious part of it, yes.
Yeah, he was in, but he did have something. I mean, he was trying his best to dig up information and say that there's something out there. Now, do I agree there's something out there? Yeah, I think there's something out there, but you know, can we see it? I don't think we're going to see it for a while, you know. And when we do see it, I think they're going to, you know,
I'll tell you
cloud
what,
our
I
mind.
filmed the sky for 5 years. I caught everything in the sky except for a freaking planet.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, so you know, here, speaking of the grid, you know, we were talking about our minds being
Mhm.
linked, and I'm going to make this short because we're already, I can't believe our hour is come and gone already. But
I can't believe it.
okay, even back in the day, Nikola Tesla tuned the North American power grid. Notice I said grid. The electric power hums at
Yeah.
60 hertz, the
Yeah.
ninth overtone of the earth, and the loudest tone from space, B1 or B. So did he set up that grid to either enhance us, or did and then somebody hijacked it to corrupt us? because it, I
Yes
mean,
and
he
yes.
may have
Yes
had
and
good
yes.
intentions, huh?
Yes and yes.
Okay, yeah, because if he had good
Did
intentions,
you know 60 hertz is a sustainable?
That's why I was just going to say, when he did that, it cracked all the foundations in the building he was in, and they had to run before it collapsed. So yes, it's very effective.
That was a little box that he tuned to the resonant frequency of the building. Yes, but I don't know if that had anything to do with 60 hertz, but the 60 hertz that's what all of our electronics in America is the base for, is 60 hertz. And the way the electricity runs through a magnetic, because what holds the electricity in a electrical line is the magnetic flux that the line itself, the conduit, the power line.
Yep.
And the way the electricity flows through there isn't in a 60 hertz frequency.
No,
it's in a different wavelength there, or a different hertzian thing. And that's why they need transformers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the true energy isn't in 60 hertz when it's run through the electrical grid.
Yeah.
It's only 60 hertz when it gets to our power supply.
yes.
And it makes it so our equipment needs to be replaced more. It doesn't last as long. And that's what I meant by the 60, how it's
and I think you're right. I don't think it was 60 hertz that actually makes the building start to crack apart, but that was, like I said, they were playing with the frequencies.
Yeah.
And
what's the Tacoma Bridge? Remember the Tacoma Bridge that started swaying because it was in resonant frequency with the wind and the vibration?
Yes.
And it vibrated apart? Yeah.
That is the same thing that he was playing with. And literally, I think this is what opened up the Philadelphia experiment and a lot of different stuff, was because he tapped into something big time with this. Big time.
So if anybody out there knows any more about the Nikola Tesla thing and you want to share that information,
amazing, Robert,
let me know.
I've been working with that technology for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's out there. That he
with
invented
what technology? What do you mean?
Research and development for that technology. I've actually been working with it from the guy who invented it for 30 years.
Yeah, frequency.
What do you mean, the wireless power thing?
No, not free energy. It's a purple light.
Oh, really? Purple. I like purple.
Me too.
There you go.
Purple's my favorite color.
Notice the purple light out here. The purple guy.
Well, you see my background too.
But no, see that. But that's what I'm saying is he knew something and he was trying to do good with it.
And he got shut down and he was left bankrupt and it was sad. And then all of his stuff was confiscated.
If you ain't selling it, ain't nobody buying it.
Yeah.
That's why my channel's at 4,000 subs and it probably will remain there forever.
Mine has never moved for like,
I ain't selling shit.
Mine hasn't moved, Steve, in 12 or 13 months. It hasn't had any nothing. And I give up.
Well, who cares?
Well, that's all right. Well,
when the student's ready, the teacher will show up.
That's exactly it. That's you said it. And thanks for everybody for coming in the chat room. I tell you what, this has been a really great show. Share it with everybody because they're going to learn something out of this one. And thank you guys for coming. Trina, what's going on with you this week? Anything? You going to be on Wayne's show next week here? Same as always.
Tuesday with Wayne, Andromeda 7 Friday night, and you Saturday night. And I might put a couple things out pretty soon. I've got some stuff on my mind that's brewing, so I might get some stuff out. But
that'd be awesome.
Been working a lot, and I've literally every day after work I've been doing healing sessions, so it's been busy, really busy.
Well, slow the F down, girls. You got to smell the roses.
When I get to do that work, it's kind of how I get to smell my roses. Good. So I'm grateful for it.
That is awesome.
It makes me happy.
That's awesome.
Steve, I see you had a show the other night. I didn't get to catch it, but I'm going to rewatch it probably tomorrow. But that was
Jack,
good. Yeah.
I'm gonna have Aaron from Australia at School of Esoterica tonight at 11.
Oh, really?
Or 50 minutes. So, I haven't talked with him in over a year. He's in Australia. He's going to give us a lowdown on what's going on down there. And
right on.
Cool. So everybody go tune in a little later. Steve will be up and ready to go.
All I want to say to everybody is, in my humble, honest opinion, I don't know shit. I cannot tell you how to live, but all I can do is project love, and hopefully that reciprocates in the world and grows into the flower that it needs to be, because what's inside of me is inside of you, what's inside of you is inside of me. We are we, and we be three. Love you.
Love you too. I am so glad to be entangled with all of you.
Me too. Even though we were shadow boxing.
Hey,
I love you,
I'll
Trina.
shadow box with you any day, brother.
I know.
Any
I
day.
know you will.
Bring it on, baby. I'm ready. Fire it up. Let's go.
All right. Love you all. And remember, be the frequency you want to receive. Peace. Love.
Do it for Brian. Do it for the Milky Way.